my energy drink, I've got my water, because I feel like a bitch needs to stay hydrated, because I feel like this video could be long. I've got a lot of thoughts that I just need to vomit into this video. Welcome back to another video. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, we've got another ALPHALETE haul. I know, another ALPHALETE haul with you. We've got another ALPHALETE haul. I have a lot of thoughts about this launch. It's the Ozone launch. It's part of like their big summer launch that they're doing, and it's happening on the 9th of July. So this Saturday, I got my parcel on Friday. It's Tuesday today. I had a bit of a hectic weekend. I went to a festival, and to be honest, I actually wanted to test this stuff out because it's brand new stuff. With Amplify, I'm kind of like, at this point, do I really need to test it out a ton? Like, it does what it does, but with it being like a brand new product line, design, all that sort of stuff that they've not really done before, material in particular, I definitely wanted to try it out before doing this video, and I've tried it out. I've got my thoughts, and I'm ready to roll. Before I get started with this video properly, I just want to mention a couple of things. The main thing being an update on my socials donations, which I've spoken about in videos before. I just want to give an update because I haven't really updated on last month or given any information on where this month's money is going. So last month's money, June's money, the socials portion of earnings donation was made to Bradford Central Food Bank. 29% of children in Bradford, which is where I'm from, by the way. I live in Leeds now, but like, I'm from Bradford. Bradford is like 20 minutes. I live like 20 minutes from where I live now. That's where I was brought up. 29% of children in Bradford are living below the poverty line. Obviously, food banks help a lot with families in particular that are living below the poverty line, because I said this with the last charity that focused on making sure that every child has a bed to sleep in, but it might seem like a really like foreign concept to some people, but there's plenty of people that actually cannot afford food, especially at the moment with cost of living crises. I feel like a lot of the charities that I've picked, I've kind of geared them towards helping people who need help with that, because a lot of people, particularly in areas like Bradford, are really, really struggling. So yeah, June's donation was made to Bradford Central Food Bank. Thank you so much to everyone who like watches YouTube videos, code uses, all that sort of stuff, because that all helps to mean basically every single month it's relative to what my socials income has been that month. Obviously, the more it is, the more wiggle room I have to donate to a charity of my choice. July's is going to be the Cinderella Club in Bradford, which again focuses on children who live an underprivileged life. So for example, like when there's school trips, like residential school trips, for example, this is just one example of what they do. They can be quite expensive. Not everyone's parents can afford. I was very, very lucky. My parents could always afford. If I wanted to go on a residential, I could go, but not everyone's parents can afford that, so they can help provide funding so that children get to take part in like extracurricular activities, residentials that like their friends and their peers get to enjoy, but they might not be able to otherwise if it wasn't for this charity because of the financial position that they're in. So yes, that is July's charity. If you get ads on this video, please do watch them. It does help my AdSense go up. Also super open to any charity suggestions, as those are the main three that I first of all picked out, and obviously now we're on month 3. I was going to cycle back through them, but if anyone's got any suggestions of any charities that are like close to their heart or that you think would be like suitable, please let me know. On to the video. I'm going to pop on the screen a rolling thing of the launch PDF so you can see everything that's dropping. There's like briefs and quite a lot of like wordy information on this brief, which I could just read from, but I'm going to leave it in the description box below linked so you can access it, see everything, see the colour palettes, see like all the writing, the descriptions, everything. Just don't see the point in me like reading off it, like it's quite wordy. You've got the Ozone collection, which is like the main part of this launch. It's definitely like the standout thing that they seem to be like pushing a lot, which is their first ever drop made out of recycled materials. It's definitely not the first ever item that they've done. They've definitely done beanies before that came with the recycled material tags on. They did for me anyway. I don't know whether that was like an error or something, but it's definitely their first like women's range that's made out of recycled materials. That's going to be the main thing that I'm going to go over in this video. I'm going to leave timestamps below because I already have a feeling that this video is going to be quite long. So I'm going to start with the Ozone collection, and straight away before I get into this video, because there's a couple of things that like I just flat out think no, like it's just a no from me. I just want to say, because I spoke about this on Instagram yesterday, like I never want to come across as like moaning or ungrateful. I am well aware that there are plenty of people who would bite the hand off at the opportunity to work with ALPHALETE, and I love working with ALPHALETE. I love a lot of their products. I don't love everything. Some stuff I actually really don't like, but that's the same with any brand, and anyone who tells you that they love absolutely everything that a brand drops is lying. Like that's just not a thing. You can't love everything, but I never want it to come across as though like I'm moaning or I'm picking holes in things where, you know, making a problem where there isn't a problem sort of thing. Doing that, I'm just being like quite honest and upfront with my opinions about things. Of course, I'm super grateful to, you know, be able to get all this stuff. I'm super grateful to work with ALPHALETE, but is it going to sway my opinions? No, because I see my boss in this side of things as like 30% ALPHALETE but like 70% you guys. That's just how I see things. I've said it before, consumer perspective, all that sort of stuff. But I do just want to say that before I get into this video, because I feel like it's probably one of my more, shall we say, opinionated ones. The first thing that I just want to say as I get into the Ozone collection, like the seamless drop in particular, is this is ALPHALETE's first ever like big, you know, women's launch using a recycled material, and they are touting it as like their first sustainable drop. Now, I don't know absolutely everything there is to know about recycled materials. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I'm definitely not. It says that they've spent 16 months designing and going back and forth with this, and I don't doubt that one bit. I do know it's very hard, having been someone who wants to do something to do with, you know, product and wants to make sure it's done the right way. I know how hard it is to find things like this. However, I do feel like there's a slight dissonance here. Is using recycled materials like a step in the right direction? 100%. It would lay towards the public and what they can see. They weren't really doing anything for sustainability or anything like that before, so of course this is a step in the right direction, and I think most people would argue it's better to use recycled sustainable materials rather than using, you know, sourcing new things, all that sort of stuff. Like, I don't think there's any debate around that. However, there is a lot of debate around recycled materials and how sustainable they actually are. Apparently there's issues with sustainable recycled materials. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. I do know that a lot of experts in the field do not necessarily believe how sustainable recycled materials are. There's issues with like microplastics and all that sort of stuff. I don't know enough about this specific blend to say if that's going to be a problem. If anyone works in the sustainability field and has like an expert eye on this, I would definitely love for someone to look through the brief and give more information on it. I personally think this is better off being marketed as their first recycled thing rather than being sustainable. You know that ALPHALETE are trying to move away from being a launch-based brand. They're trying to move away from doing like, you know, huge drops all the time. They don't really want to be doing this anymore, and I do think that's part of their commitment to becoming a more sustainable brand. I do genuinely believe that that's what they want to do. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about the sustainability aspect of the Ozone collection. I'm not an expert in the field, and I can't truly say how good this is for the environment or how bad it is. It's just something, like a discussion that I wanted to start. Please leave comments and let me know what you think and all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to shut up about that now, and I'm going to get into the actual products, because I've probably just gone on about that for way too long. Throughout this video, I'm going to put in a shit ton of comparison clips, overlay clips, all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to timestamp those so you know where they are, but just to let you know what I'm going to include, I'm going to include things like Halo versus Amplify versus Ozone. I'm going to cover like the material that will go in here, waist comparisons between extra small and a size small, difference between the small shorts and the small in leggings to see if there's a difference in how they fit, difference between same sizes in the waistbands, tops difference, old tank comparisons, I might do like a punch through test of the Halo, Amplify and Ozone, so you can see like how thick this material is in comparison to the other two. I'm going to show you the seams on the back because there's a big issue with that, and also like some tonal matches of bras with Amplify, because straight off the bat, like spoiler alert, these are not my favourite bottoms, but I love the tops, and quite a lot of people I think this is probably like one of ALPHALETE's recent most popular tops that they've dropped, based off what I've seen other athletes saying, but also based off the messages that I've had. People want the tops, they're not really super interested in the bottoms, and I don't blame them. I don't think they're like the best bottoms that ALPHALETE have dropped, in my opinion. So tonal matches, like colours that these colours will go with, I'm gonna include all of that. I'll touch more on the material and what the material is like when I go over the comparisons to Halo and Amplify, so feel free to skip forward to that bit if you want to watch that and then come back and hear me talk about the tops. But for reference, before I get into this video, I am 5'6". The inside of my leg is 28 inches. I'm typically between an extra small and a small in ALPHALETE products, depending on what product it is. My waist is about 24, my glutes are about 39. I'm a 32 double D, but my boobs are fake, so when I'm talking about support with things like tops, please bear that in mind. So I'm gonna go over the tops first. So details wise, let's get into it. They're a super high neckline. It's got quite a thick detailing, like ribbed seam at the top. Ribbed down here, it's like a scooped, like cut off kind of fit. You've got the ribbing again there. You've got this kind of detailing, which is kind of like a Halo kind of detailing here. ALPHALETE is on a white rubber. This is like stuck on, it's not like sewn in or anything on the front there. It comes down, there is an elasticated ribbed thing at the bottom. There's no like tight seams anywhere on the top, so it's not like tighter in one area. It's super stretchy, like as you can see. These tops have got a lot of give to them, and then on the back it's a racer back, and then you've got some cute detailing here. Again, very similar to like detailing that was on the Halo leggings. I have these in both a size small and an extra small. I'm going to show you the difference, like a flat lay between the two sizes. It is a difference between an extra small and a small in the tops. As you can see, there's not really a huge difference. Lengthwise, they're the complete same. There's not a huge difference, which does kind of explain why I didn't feel like a ton of difference other than across my boobs, because obviously this bit is definitely bigger. But in terms of like the rest of the fit, it's definitely very similar. Not much in it, to be honest. If you do want like a super comfy fit, you could maybe go up 2 sizes, because there doesn't seem to be a huge difference, although you might then get some gape in here, which I don't get in either an extra small or a small, but I might get it in a medium. Also, something that I've just noticed, which I've not mentioned in this video, I said I didn't think this material would pill, but I feel like this top also almost looks a bit puckered already. I have worn this and I feel like maybe I've caught like my bracelet or like my rings on it. Definitely looks a bit puckered already, which does surprise me. I wasn't expecting that, so add that to the review, something to be aware of. It's definitely not pill proof. Definitely does look a bit puckered already at the top. The colours that I have this in is, I've got Atlantic Blue, I have the lavender colour, I've got gingerbread, I've got grape, and I've got pistachio. The colour palette, I will say, for this drop, I think is really pretty. I wish this had been done in Amplify, personally. I just feel like we've had no like proper purples, other than like wisteria, but I feel like wisteria is a bit more like pink than grape is. Like, why have these colours not been done in Amplify? I just think they'd be stunning. I do really like the colour palette. My favourite colours in this drop are probably gingerbread, grape, and I really like the Atlantic Blue colour as well. I'd say these are like the most flattering on me. Grape is like my absolute #1 favourite. That's definitely my favourite out of the bunch. Like I said, I've got these in an extra small and a small. Honestly, I can wear either of these. I feel like sizing wise, if you want like a bit more support, you can kind of stay true to size for your ALPHALETE bra sizing. I say that because if you've not shopped with ALPHALETE before, their tops and bras tend to run like a little bit bigger, other than like the Pulse Balance bra, which is like ridiculously small. So for me, in most other brands, I should be a size small in sports bras and all that sort of stuff, but with ALPHALETE I'm usually an extra small. So I would say if you're wanting like a bit more of a compression fit and like a bit more support, stay with your usual ALPHALETE size. But if you're wanting more of a comfort fit, you can definitely go a size up. It kind of depends on how you want this to fit, but I would honestly say they kind of fit true to size for the medium high support that they are touting. Now I wouldn't say this is a high support bra at all, and that's someone with fake tits, so you know, I feel like for natural boobs, definitely not super supportive. Maybe if you size down, they would be, even from like your usual ALPHALETE sizing. I could get away with an extra small or a small, to be honest. I think I prefer how the extra small fits, just because I don't like to feel too free when I'm not wearing a bra, because I wouldn't wear a bra underneath these. You definitely could if you wanted extra support, but you've got to bear in mind it's a racer back bra, so it'd probably be something like a tri bra that you'd want to wear underneath for a bit of extra support, otherwise you're going to see those straps. So yeah, I would stick with an extra small in these. Sweatproof wise, these do show sweat. I've trained twice in these. I've trained in the grape colour and the gingerbread colour. They're both darker colours, but they both did actually show sweat, which I was quite surprised because I didn't think they would show sweat, just because of like the way the material feels, but they did show sweat. So if that is something that bothers you, it's definitely something to be aware of. I had like sweat patches like under my boobs and then on like this part of the armpit here, and they were on leg days. I do sweat quite a lot. My only regrets with this top is that I didn't get it in black, because I feel like black goes with everything, and I would have really liked the black. Material wise, all the tops pretty much feel the same to me, other than that Atlantic blue, which feels like a bit rougher and a bit tighter. There's definitely a theme with this drop of lighter colours feeling a lot stretchier, like a lot stretchier. It's not like a slight difference, it's quite a big difference in like the feel of the material. Like they feel a lot softer and stretchier in like the pistachio colour, but with the bra it's kind of hard to tell because I've got the pistachio bra in a size small. But yeah, the Atlantic blue definitely feels like a little bit rougher, tougher and a little bit less stretchy, but I still don't need to size up in it. If you're only going to pick up like a couple things from this launch, I would definitely recommend that the top is something that you get. Like I said, I'll put in like some tonal matches with Amplify and other collections so you can see what goes where. I'll timestamp and let you know where that is in the video, because I feel like there's a lot of Amplify colours that would suit really well, not as like dead matches but like tonal matches, which for me personally is my preference. Sometimes I think when you're wearing two of the exact same colour and it's a full matching set, it can look a bit like almost a bit too put together. Do you know what I mean? Okay, tonal matches time. So pistachio I think goes best with these shades of green in Amplify. So Frozen Spring looks really cute with it, and then this is Aspen, I think, an old Amplify drop, and then this is Dusty Green. I feel like these all go quite well with it. I feel like Dusty Green for more of like a muted kind of tonal look, but Frozen Spring for more of like a summer vibe. I feel like it looks quite nice, but when I put these together you can see Frozen Spring is more of like a yellowy green, whereas Pistachio is like a true green. But I feel like these are all a very viable option. Okay, then Atlantic blue in the middle, we've got the Ocean, Ombre, the Blue Moon, Rainfall, Tuxedo Blue, Victory Blue, I think this is Teal. You've got the Blue Moon, and then you've got Oceania. So they're like all definite options. I feel like these two maybe not so much, but I feel like the colours that go best with it, I feel like Rainfall goes best. I feel like Pea Blue would also go really well, but I don't know where mine is right now, so I can't help. But I do also really like it with Victory Blue. I feel like it looks good with that, but I'd say Pea Blue and Rainfall are probably your best bets for this. But there's so many colours that this will go with, like greys as well. Would look super cute. And we've got Grape,
Bordeaux, Wisteria, Black Cherry and the Amplify Hot Pink. I feel like the hot pink looks quite cool, but by far the best, like if you're trying to get like a very tonal match, would be Wisteria. It's not the exact same colour, but it's very, very, very similar, and I feel like because it's similar but not the exact same, I love matches like that. But I do also really, really like it with Black Cherry, because Black Cherry's got this like marling in, which I feel like is a very similar colour to grape. But yeah, those would be my suggestions there. We've got gingerbread. I don't really know why I put Day Tripper ombre in. I don't really think that goes. But chocolate I think is quite cute. Obviously not a match at all, but I feel like it does pair well. Mocha I think looks really, really cute with this colour. Again, obviously not a dead match, but I do think it looks cute. Fireside looks very, 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 very nice with it. You've got mandarin as an option. I'm not really sure how I feel about this one. This is the cheeky coral colour. Maybe? I'm not sure. And then copper. Copper goes really, really well. Copper Amplify or Fireside, I would say probably go best, but I do really like the idea of it with mocha as well. Lavender goes really, really nice with French blue. I really like that together. Purple Dove is an option. I'm not super keen on this colour. I don't really like it, but it does kind of go well with it. Viola looks really, really good, I think, as like a little tonal match. And I do actually really like Bloom with this. A bit of a brighter bottom, both kind of like purpley. I do actually really like that. But they would be my suggestions. Probably French Blue goes like the best, but I do really like Viola and Bloom. In terms of greys, we've got medium grey, which I think goes, I feel like greys just go over greys. Titanium I really, really like with it. Powdered grey I do also really like with it. Storm grey, I feel like Storm grey is a bit too light. Out of all these I'd probably say titanium or powder grey with the grey, but to be honest you can wear grey with everything, and because this has got like a bit of blue in it, I feel like it also looks quite cute with a blue bottom. But yeah, and daffodil, obviously I've only got the shorts in these, so just imagine it's the top. These are the Honey Amplify. I feel like lemonade would go well as well. I feel like Day Tripper looks really, really cute. I do actually quite like Frozen Spring with it, because I feel like because this has got a bit of a yellow in the green, it would look quite cute together as like a top and bottom combo. And then Cheeky Coral as well, I think looks cute with it. They would be my suggestions for daffodil.
They do come with padding in the cups, which are just like triangles. I always take these out, so I took mine out, but you can keep them in. They're not see-through, you can't see your nipples through them. Even in the pistachio colour, which is super light colour, that was fine for me. The daffodil colour, it might be a little bit sheer. I don't have it, so I can't say. I've only got it in the shorts, and it is sheer as fuck in the shorts, so maybe something to be aware of. But the other colours are completely fine. But yeah, I really, really like these. I think they're very, very flattering, and they make your shoulders, even if your shoulders are not capped, they're going to be looking capped. They're going to be looking capping. Even if they're not capped, they're going to be capping. I just feel like these are flattering. They look good on everyone. They've put these on like a few different models in a few different sizes, and I feel like these suit everyone. They look good on everyone, and I like them on everyone. So 10 out of 10 recommend these tops. I really, really like them. I'm going to get a lot of use out of them, probably pairing them with Amplify like I'm going to show you in the clips. But yeah, the tops are a definite recommendation from me. They are approved by Amy. We've started this thing on Instagram. So many people have said that they won't buy anything unless it's like approved by me, or I've at least given my opinion, so then they can make an informed decision, which I think is really, really cute. And I just love that people can trust my opinion that much, which is why I do the reviews the way I do them. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to say, oh well, it's just not my personal preference if it feels bad quality or something like that. Like, no, we're all honest around here. I was going to move on to the leggings, but I'm just going to do all the tops first. We then have this high neck long sleeve. I just want to know, summer drop, summer launch, mid-July, the height of summer, and we're doing a turtleneck long sleeve top. Yes, it might be cropped, but like, Come on, seriously? I just feel like, no. So details wise on this, you've got the ALPHALETE logo on the front again. You've got this mock neck, which turtleneck is what I would call it, which is ribbed. You've got detailing down the side here, so it kind of goes like this, and then it goes into this like ribbed kind of texture on the sleeve. I do like the detailing on the sleeves. It gives me like spy vibes. I feel like it looks quite cool. It does look quite cool. It's like quite a cool looking top when it's off, in my opinion. Not sure about when it's on. And then this is what it looks like at the back. I feel like this kind of like half moon thing looks quite cool. I've got this in carbon, which is like a super dark grey, but it's definitely like a bluey dark grey. Like it's got hints of blue in it. It's definitely not like a true grey. I feel like it's a dark grey blue. I'll compare it to other greys in the clip so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'll also compare this to the Amplify seamless long sleeve, because I actually asked Bailey, because I saw that she did the shoot for this campaign, what the sizing was like, and she advised to size up. So I actually got this in a size small because I thought me and ALPHALETE's necklines recently have not been getting along, and it's been feeling like I am coming out of a literal vagina again, pushing my way through. It's been feeling like I'm being reborn when I'm putting certain tops on. So I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to size up to a size small. But I feel like this looks quite ill-fitting around the neck on me in a size small. I don't know if it would have helped if I'd have got an extra small, but I feel like the sleeves are quite tight. So I feel like the sizing with this top is just off. Which, by the way, Bailey is so nice and so helpful. Like, she replied really quick because I was trying to do my selections. She replied super quick, which meant I could do my package and all that sort of stuff, and it was done really quick because she replied so quick. She's a really nice girl. I feel like her and Brit are super nice. I've not spoken to loads of the people that work with ALPHALETE, probably because they don't know that I literally exist. But those two have always been so nice to me, so welcoming. So shout out to those two. They're really nice girls. In terms of material, it feels like the exact same as the tops. Super like stretchy, quite like in between like a thin and a thick material. It's got, obviously it's got the ribbed band at the bottom again, and lengthwise this is like this much longer. So where this waistband is, it's like this much longer than the tops are, so it's got a little bit more length. It's a bit of a longer crop. So this wouldn't be sweat proof. It's the same material as the tops, so this will show sweat. So if you are interested in this and you're bothered by sweat, I would definitely go for probably black, because I feel like even the carbon is gonna show sweat. These are honestly a hard pass for me. First of all, because it's literally summer, but second of all, like even in winter I wouldn't wear this top. Like I just wouldn't wear a turtleneck to the gym. I just wouldn't wear a turtleneck to the gym. It's like too much, and I feel like for chilling in and like running errands in, there's so many like tops that I'd rather wear from ALPHALETE. The seamless pullover, the Amplify long sleeves, like I'd way rather wear those over this. I don't really like it. I don't think it's super flattering. The sizing's really weird. Like I said, like an extra small would be way too tight on me in like the arm region, but the smalls mock neck, like you'll see it in the try on clips, like it just looks off. It doesn't fit quite right. I'm not a huge fan of these. Like I said, weird to have it in a summer drop, but also I just feel like even if I was stocking up for winter, this wouldn't be an item that I would get. These are going to be like 30 to 45 pounds would be my guess for like a price point. I wouldn't spend my own money of that on this because it's not me. I don't like it. I don't like the fit of it. Therefore, I'm not going to tell anyone else to spend their money on it. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. It's a shame because like the detailing on like the sleeves and stuff I feel like is quite cool, but I would like to see that on like just a normal, more like Amplify seamless looking top rather than like with the mock neck. I just feel like it's a bit much for me. It's just a little bit too much. Then we have my favorite, well, second favorite, because the tank sports bras are like my absolute fave. the Ozone Racer Tank. I just got this in black. Oh my god, I wish I had got this in other colours. I got this in a size extra small. This top, oh my god, so I will compare it to the Amplify like seamless tank that they did, but I feel like this fits even better. These kind of length tops, very similar to like the seamless pullovers, when you wear these, even though it's a top, it makes your ass look 10 times bigger. I don't know why. I feel like it's where it cuts off with your bum looks 10 times bigger. The bunder is bundering. It makes you look from the front like it really snatches you. Like, I struggle to find tops that are super flattering in terms of like full length tops on my waist, because they never quite cinch in enough at the waist to actually exaggerate and accentuate my waist with it being a little bit smaller. This one does it perfectly. I feel like the seamless one was like almost there. This is like perfected shit. Love, like absolutely love. In terms of like details, it is quite similar. So you've just got the ALPHALETE standard block logo on the front in a sticker. It's not like super low cut but not high cut either. I'd say it kind of fits kind of like the same kind of neckline as like the Impact bra. It's got this really nice like body contouring down the sides, which I feel like really helps to just make you look super snatched. And then on the back, the ribbing kind of continues, and then the hem is kind of like, it's not flat at the bottom, it's like a dipped seam. Like I said, I've got this in an extra small. I would definitely stay true to size if you want like a snatching fit. If you want a bit more room, definitely go with the size up. You could probably go 2 sizes up if you want a little bit more room and you don't want it super tight. But if you want it skin tight, definitely stay true to size. In terms of like support, the information says this is a high support tank. I mean, it's very tight fitting, but like high support, no. You won't want to go for a run in this with no sports bra underneath it. If you want to wear it to training and you do a lot of moving around and you have like bigger boobs, you're gonna need to wear a sports bra underneath this to get support. For me personally, I think I'm gonna use this more for like running errands, lounging, living my best Range Rover MILF with no kids life. I feel like that is what this top gives to me. I probably won't train in it if I did train in it. No, I wouldn't train in it. I don't think I would train in it. I'm more of like an oversized t-shirt with shorts person at the moment. Right now it's not something I'd train in, but it's definitely something I would lounge around in. The quality of this feels super nice. I actually just like love this top. The length is a really good length. It's just super flattering. In terms of like see-throughness, in the try-on clips I've got this on with no bra underneath, like not even a bralette, and I feel like you don't need to wear a bra underneath it. It's not see-through, you can't see anything through it. So if you want to go braless, you absolutely can, but if you are training, you want more support, I would recommend that you wear a sports bra underneath it. But I love this. I think this is going to be one of the more underrated items from this drop. Like, everyone's loving the sports bra top things, which I completely get, but I feel like this is going to be one of the really underrated pieces. And even if you're not like a full length top girl, you could definitely cut this and I think it would still look super cute. Yeah, I really like this, and as you can tell by the fact I only got one, I wasn't expecting to like it, but I like it a lot. Sweat, you're gonna see sweat, but I've got it in black, so it wouldn't be a huge problem. I love it, and it's a very rich black. Like, this black is black. Like, there's no hint, you know, sometimes when you get black and it's a bit grey or there's almost like a bit brown in it. None of that with this. It's a true black. Love this top. I call this, you know, like when everyone says like the BBL effect jacket, I think it's like the Lululemon one, the BBL effect top. It's just chef's kiss. This is the new Ozone Racer Tank compared to the Amplify Seamless. Obviously the material is a bit different, so the Amplify Seamless ones feel very soft, very stretchy. There's no like waffle kind of texture, it's just smooth, whereas the Ozone has kind of got this waffle kind of texture to it. If I go like this,
I felt that's the best way to show the difference. I feel like you can feel that it's a bit more, not scratchy, but just a bit more like waffle. It's got a bit more texture to it. They're both racerbacks. The racerback on the Amplify is a bit skinnier. This one has a little bit more chunk to it, but like in terms of like where they come down to, very, 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 very similar. The fit of the body, again, very similar. This one is a bit more narrow, which I did expect because definitely fits me a bit more true to size and snatched than the Amplify ones did. And then lengthwise, so the Amplify one was flat at the front and then dipped at the back, whereas this one is dipped both. The contouring's a bit different, lines on here. This one's definitely a bit more compressive because of this kind of paneling, and it's dipped at both the front and the bottom, and it's a bit longer than the Amplify one was. That's the differences.
Okay, now we're going to get on to the bottoms, which is, oh, there's just a lot of thoughts that I have about the bottoms. There's going to be a lot of overlay clips here. I'm going to talk more about the fabric here and all that shenanigans. I've got lots of shorts and I've got lots of leggings. I think I'll go over the leggings first because the shorts are like a short version of the leggings. So once I've covered like features and stuff, just imagine the legging chopped basically. So I've got these leggings in the colour mauve, grape, Atlantic blue and pistachio, and I've got extra smalls and smalls, mainly smalls because that is what Bailey advised me on, and I do think she was right.
It is a flat lay comparison of the difference in the shorts between an extra small and a small. Not a huge difference. I would say this looks like a fair difference that it should be between an extra small and a small, and a little bit of extra length as well. Both extra small shorts, as you can see, lavender and daffodil. It's quite consistent, to be honest. There's not really a ton in it. Daffodil is like slightly bigger, but compared to some of the differences we see in Amplify, definitely not as huge of a difference. These are all size small shorts. Let me just pull that end to end to make sure it's fair. So the grape, gingerbread and Atlantic blue all fit very similar. If anything, grape runs like slightly bigger than the other two, and then pistachio is the smallest, which did surprise me because it feels the biggest, but that's because this one has got the most stretch. So whilst it might look smaller laid flat, remember this material in this colour has definitely got the most give and most stretch. So I don't think this is anything to be too concerned about. The sizing is definitely so far more consistent in terms of same sizes than Amplify's been recently, and the length is pretty similar too. Again, pistachio's got a little bit more length, but the rest of them are pretty equal. There is an extra small in the leggings compared to an extra small in the shorts. Again, with Amplify, I feel like the shorts normally have like a bit of a bigger waistband. It is the case here, but not to the same extent as Amplify. Something to bear in mind. Size small leggings against a size small shorts behind. They are the exact same. There's no difference in the Atlantic blue colour. This for me is where things get a little bit crazy. So this is an extra small pistachio legging over a size small Atlantic blue. To me, this looks more like an extra small compared to a medium. There's definitely like a big gap in terms of sizing. But again, do bear in mind, obviously the pistachio shorts laid flat looked smaller than the others, but then this material has the most stretch, so maybe this is just a bit more pre-shrunk because it stretches more. But yeah, this is definitely a big difference. Small legging comparisons, so grape and mauve are pretty much neck and neck. Atlantic blue does run a little bit bigger, a smidging bigger. But it definitely feels the tightest. So again, don't be fooled because this colour definitely fits the tightest and has the least stretch to it.
So I will show you details on this pistachio pair because I feel like you can see it best on here. Details wise, on the waistband, it's ALPHALETE's like classic 3-tier waistband, which is started with the Amplify and like the biker shorts and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it goes from medium to high. It's meant to kind of go like this. Then you have got quite a lot of like new detailing on these. So you've got this
like quad sweep at the front, which is probably meant to accentuate your quads, and then at the bottom this kind of wraps around your knee. It's very similar to what was on the long sleeve top. It's kind of like ribbed, but once it's on it feels flat. Like once it's stretched out it's very much flat and doesn't have a texture, but when it's off the leg you can feel that it is ribbed. And then on the back, so on the front, as you can see, there's no front seam. On the back there is a seam. You've got this kind of line puckered ribbed detailing that goes like around the glute sort of thing. And yeah, that's the detailing on the legs. You'll see it a bit more in the try-on clips and in like the overlay clips that I put on. So like I said, I've got these in an extra small and a small. Sizing wise with these, you kind of do need to size up. I feel like I definitely feel more comfortable in the small. It's not really one of those things where it's like, oh, I could do either. I genuinely believe if I wore the extra small to the gym in the shorts and in the leggings, I would probably rip them. I feel like the seams would give way. I feel like the seams would rip because they remind me of the Halo leggings. I feel like they had issues with the seams, and I feel like these ones very well might as well. I would definitely say that you need to size up in these, particularly if you are between sizes, or like you could fit an extra small or a small in ranges like Amplify. I definitely go with the size up just to be on the safe side when it comes to ripping, but also I think you'll find them a lot more comfortable. It's a really weird material because it's stretchy but it's not stretchy at the same time. It's soft but it's also rough in texture at the same time. It's mind-boggling to explain. I really don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'll probably talk about the material more in like the clips that I put in when I compare it to other things, but if you've ever tried, with it being recycled, if you've ever tried the Tala Zinnia leggings, which I have, and I mean they ripped after a couple wears. So the material is very similar to that, but a bit thinner, a bit softer and a bit stretchier, but it's definitely more similar to the Zinnia material than any material that ALPHALETE have ever done, which kind of makes sense because those are recycled leggings as well. And I feel like all recycled materials when it comes to activewear kind of feel similar from what I've tried and from what I've experienced. That being said, about them feeling similar to the Zinnia range from Tala and the issues that I've had with the Zinnia range, this is what I mean when I say like I'm not sure. Like obviously all these like products have got like a sustainable tag on them. I'm not sure on like the wear and tear of these leggings. They're probably not going to pill or anything like that because they've not really got that kind of texture that Amplify does. They might pill more like on like the ribbed bits, but on like the actual main bit of the legging I don't think they would pill that much. But because I've tried leggings like the Tala Zinnia leggings which ripped, because there's just not much give in the seams, which I feel like is very true for this range. Like the material has got a lot of stretch, but I feel like the seams are quite rigid, and I feel like that's where you get issues. That's where there was issues with the Halo because of where the detailing was sewn into the seams, and then the seams were just very rigid, whereas the rest of the legging had a bit more stretch to it. I just feel like I am doubtful about how well these will hold up over time. I'm a little bit doubtful. Okay, so I'm now going to compare the new Ozone to the Halo to Amplify and talk about the differences and also the material so that I can show you properly about the material. So this is the new Ozone fabric. As you can see up close, if I pull the halos over, you can see how the halos kind of had, it's not like waffled, but like it's very small, almost waffled kind of texture to them. And that is definitely on the new Ozone fabric. I feel like now I'm showing you it up close. If you've tried the Tala Zinnia range, you can really see how similar it is, like the texture of it. So in comparison to, let's say, Amplify, which has a completely like smooth, almost like fluffy texture, you can see that this one's got like a roughness to it. There's like a roughness to it. I would describe this material personally as a blend between the stretchiness of Amplify in terms of like the actual material, but the seams are stiff, which I'll get on in the video, which means it fits completely different. It's got the stretchiness of Amplify. It's got the feel of a mixture between the R6 leggings and the Halo. Now the Halo are definitely thicker than the Ozone. The Ozone are definitely a bit thinner, and they feel a bit more like the R6 material to me, but thinner. They're not quite as thick as the R6 either. I feel like it's a blend between Halo, Amplify and R6 in terms of like stretchiness, feel, all that sort of stuff. I want to be very clear, this feels nothing like Amplify in terms of like the texture of the material. I'm more so talking about like the stretch it gives, especially in the lighter colours. In terms of like detailing on the legs, of course these are completely different, like completely different to Amplify. There's a lot more detail. I will show you compared to Halo. So it has this like front, and then this detailing is what's similar to like the R6 and Halo kind of detailing. So these were the newer drop of Halo for comparison. So as you can see, they're not completely the same. I would say, to be honest, it's more the back where there's more of a like direct kind of link kind of between the two. So they've both got a middle seam on the back. This one has like a very tight seam which goes above the bum. This one doesn't, it just goes into the waistband. This waistband is the same as the Amplify one, it just doesn't feel quite as thick. It feels like probably like just over half the thickness of the Amplify waistband, but it's still got the 3-tier, so it's definitely more similar to Amplify. Branding wise, it's more similar to Amplify than Halo. Obviously Halo doesn't have anything that comes right up here, whereas this one does. It kind of goes like this in kind of like a love heart shape. Yeah, those are the differences. There's definitely similarities, but like it's definitely not the exact same as the Halo. I feel like the reason for the comparisons is because of this back seam, but if you actually look closely, these are both an extra small. There's definitely more room for your glutes in the new Ozone bottoms than there is in the Halo. Like look at how short that seam is in comparison to how long this one is. Like it's a lot longer, there's a lot more room for your glutes, which I feel like does make these definitely a better option than the Halos, but they're still not my favourite. But yeah, I will lay them all over each other because these are all a size small, so you can see what the fit is kind of like. I'll show you the Amplify on top of it first before I put the Halos over there, because I feel like it's just completely different. As you can see, these are both a size small. The waistband is like a little bit shorter than the Amplify waistband. It starts there, so it's a little bit shorter, but the waistband in a size small pretty much is identical. They're very, very similar. The Ozone legs are definitely wider, like they've definitely got more width to them. Lengthwise, they're a very, very, very similar length. So it's so hard to put the Halos over anything that's not another Halo, because I mean, in the nicest way possible, look at state of them, like they just look horrific. So there's obviously no tapering on the Halo waistband, whereas there is on this one. It's a much taller waistband on the Halos, this is much shorter, but in terms of like actual length, they still kind of come very similar. If anything, the Halos are actually a bit shorter from the bottom of the gusset right to the top of the waistband. Halo legs are obviously significantly smaller. These are a very small fitting legging. I would probably actually get a medium in these. They're just a completely different kind of fit. The only reason I think comparisons are being drawn is because of the material and the seam on the back. Other than that, as you can see, they're very, very, very different. Very different, and these are both size small. The Ozone are also a bit longer. Yes, that's my Amplify Ozone Halo comparison. I wish I had my R6, particularly my teal ones, to compare, but I don't have them. I got rid of them. These also actually feel like a legging that Lazuli used to do when they dropped like the orchid colour and you know, that really dark greeny blue colour. Feels like that. It's like rough in texture. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when you sweat in these, they get a bit itchy. It's a bit like itchy, like it's soft and stretchy. It's really hard to describe. It's soft and stretchy, but also itchy. Okay, so I'm sure we all know my favourite way to like test the thickness of the snickerness with bottoms is to do my classic punch through, so I'm going to do it. So I'll do Amplify first. As you can see, very thin, kind of like tights. You can almost see that, yeah, you can see the snake on my nail. Very, very, very thin material, not what it used to be. Certainly not the OG. Halo is a lot thicker. A lot thicker. Bear in mind how light this colour is. It's a lot thicker. Not really. These are very, 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 very thick. Again, this is definitely thicker than Amplify. Like, you can tell I've got a ring on. You can kind of see the colour. But like, these are definitely thicker in terms of like material density than Amplify are, 100%. Like, they might feel as like lightweight as Amplify, but like in terms of like the density and like the knitting on these, they're definitely a bit thicker than Amplify, in my opinion. But I feel like this is because like it's almost got that waffly kind of texture to it. Just like I waffle all the time. In terms of the sizing, again, like I've said, I definitely prefer a size small, but something that you really need to be aware of is, so for me personally, with Amplify, if I got to a size small, I still get a bit of compression in the waist. With these waistbands, yes, they've got like the 3-tier, but they feel thinner than the Amplify waistbands did. This lighting is really getting on my tits. They feel thinner than the Amplify waistbands did. So when you go up to a size small in these, compared to Amplify, where you can kind of like, you can tell it's like a little bit less compressive, but it's not a huge difference. In a size small, in both the shorts and the leggings, I don't really get any waist compression, so that is something to be aware of. I feel like if you have glutes and a bum and legs and stuff, you do need to size up in these leggings, but you are going to be like not getting really any compression in the waist. You also get a lot of extra material in like the front region, and I feel like it's still very tight on my bum. Like, even in a small, these are still tight on my bum. I feel like they squish my bum. They're not particularly flattering. So the sizing is a bit of a tricky one, because the extra small waist definitely fits better, definitely looks a lot more flattering, but like, I just wouldn't risk wearing these in an extra small. For me personally, I just think, no, like they're gonna rip. They're gonna rip. But then with the small, the waist just doesn't really give any real support or compression, and there's a lot of extra material at the front, but then it's still pulled really tight over my bum at the back. It's just like, the sizing is just a bit strange to me. In terms of like ALPHALETE leggings, I like a mixture of the Halo leggings in terms of like being similar to the design, but in terms of the material feel, I feel like these feel a bit more like the R6, but a bit thinner and probably a little bit stretchier. And people have been saying like, oh well, did you not like the Halos or the R6? When the Halos first dropped, before pretty much all mine ripped, and when I tried the R6 for the first time, I loved those leggings. You can go back and watch my hauls. I wasn't sponsored at the time, but I loved those leggings. The Halo leggings used to be my favourite leggings. When they came out, they replaced the Revivals and like the R6 leggings for me. They were my absolute favourite leggings that ALPHALETE did. Forward a couple years, Amplify's come out. I feel like I've seen how truly flattering gym bottoms can be, particularly the Amplify biker shorts. And I feel like now, in comparison, I sold all my R6 leggings last year because I was like, I'm not gonna reach for these leggings again. Like, they're just not it to me anymore. But at the time, I loved them, but that was because I didn't have anything that I preferred to compare them to. They were like top tier for me. That's just natural. Like, that's something that happens over time with anything in life. You don't know how, not shit something is, but you don't know how unflattering or like not the best something is until you've tried something better. Like, at the time, for me, the R6 leggings and the Halo leggings were like the most flattering glute leggings on the market at the time. Like, I loved them. But now,
Like, I don't reach for my halos anymore. I sold all my R6 leggings. The halos that they brought out last time I absolutely hated. I feel like they were not like the original halos. So it's not that they're a bad legging, it's just that in comparison to like Amplify, is really, there is no comparison. It's a completely different legging, to be fair. Like, we can all sit and say like, oh, ALPHALETE keep dropping things that no one asks for, like all we want is Amplify. That's not what everyone wants. Quite a lot of people don't like a scrunch bum. Quite a lot of people don't maybe want to draw a shit ton of attention towards their glutes. Maybe people want a bit more compression in the leg, which I feel like these are quite compressive, especially around the thigh and glute area, but that's probably because I have thighs and glutes and no calves, so these are comfy on the calves, not so much on the glutes and thighs. That's what some people want in a legging, and for those people, they might love these leggings, but for me, design wise, am I going to reach for these? No, I'm just not going to reach for them. They're probably going to get retired under my bed and kept for like comparisons and colour comparisons and all that sort of stuff. I'll probably give some away as well, but am I going to wear them? No. Therefore, am I going to recommend to you guys that watch my videos that you spend over £50 on a pair of leggings that I personally probably won't wear other than to chill in? No. I have been asked about whether these are like a performance legging. Yes, I do think these are 100% a gym legging. To me, they're not super comfortable to lounge around in. They're like I said, they're soft and stretchy, but they've got this kind of like rough-ish texture to them, which when you work out in can be a bit itchy. I did find the shorts to be a little bit itchy, which didn't surprise me because it's something that I found with the Zinnia leggings, which have like a bit of a rougher texture. Really, typically, I might run errands in them, but I wouldn't put them on to sit around the house in. Yes, like in a size small, they're more comfortable on the waist in terms of like not being super compressive than like a pair of Amplify, but like I wouldn't really lounge in these. I don't think they're like super comfortable. They're not super uncomfortable, but they're not super comfortable. I'd probably rather wear a pair of like Essential leggings or like Surface leggings to chill in, or Amplify. I do chill in my Amplify quite regularly. My only concern is how stiff the seams are. I feel like if you don't size up, they are going to be prone to ripping. Like I said, I'll talk about it more in like the flat lay clips, but if you look at where the seam, like where the detailing comes in here, obviously they've not brought it right across right at the top, which I feel like was a very, very wise idea, not just for making room for your glutes, but also because like, come on, like it would have just been here. It's just a bit of a problem, but this still comes into, it's not like joined on, but I feel like it does go right up to the seam, and I feel like it just makes me nervous that these are going to rip. This, like I said, the seams are quite like stiff, which to me is why I wouldn't probably like lounge around in them. I don't think they're like super comfortable. There's definitely more room for your glutes in these than there was in like the original halos, which used to like, if you readjusted them properly, they would like sit like half on your bum cheek. There's definitely a lot more room in the glute region on these than there was in the old halos, but like these are not something that you can wedgie up your bum. If you like a bum wedgie, these are not for you. Like, you can try to really put it up there, but like it's gonna come back out. It's just not form fitting or stretchy enough to stay up there, because like the seam's got like a stiffness to it. Like I said, even like the back seam, it's definitely not going to stay up there. So even if people look like they are able to give themselves a wedgie, it's not going to stay up there. It's going to be a lot of constant readjusting, which I personally don't get with Amplify. When it's up there, it kind of stays up there once I've got it up there. With these, it doesn't. If you like a bum wedgie, you're not going to like it. And then there is an issue with these back seams, which I'm going to put in a clip of me showing you and talking about. Okay, I'm going to talk about this seam on the back, because to me this is one of like the biggest quality control issues I feel like I've seen on an ALPHALETE product, other than the slides, in a long time. So I did see people before we got like packages and stuff looking at the promotional imagery and saying like, you know, it looks like they've done it above the waistband, and all my pairs are different. So with my Arctic Blue leggings, it comes up significantly past the bottom of the waistband. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it looks cute. I think it looks weird.
It just looks wrong. It looks like it's been stitched into the wrong place. Like, it just doesn't look quite right. Then I've got my grape ones where it doesn't come up quite as high, but it still comes up above it. Then I've got my gingerbread ones where it's almost like dead on, but still a tiny bit above it. Then I've got my daffodil ones where it's definitely above. Then I've got my pistachio ones where it's not above at all, which makes me think, I don't think this is a design feature for it to do that. I feel like there's just been a quality control issue, which when you're paying, you know, whatever it is that you're paying for these bottoms, if you're picking them up, you shouldn't be having to play Russian roulette with what your seam is going to look like. Like, in my opinion, they should all look like this. Like, this just looks wrong. Like, it just looks wrong. It doesn't look right. Some of them come way high like this, some of them like less high, and then some of them don't come above at all. So to me, this is quite, might seem minor, but like from the back it does look weird. And for a seam which already doesn't do much for your bum, I feel like it just draws more attention towards it, if that makes sense. I also have noticed that the seam on the back on some of my pairs definitely isn't directly sewn into the middle of the gusset. Like, I feel like this one is slightly off center, and a couple of my other colors are slightly off center. Some of the seams are also thicker. So this is my Arctic blue leggings. This seam looks quite like normal, and then this one is definitely thicker. It's definitely a thicker seam, and then the mauve looks thinner, and then my pistachio looks thicker. And this is between like leggings and shorts. It's not just like the shorts have got a thicker one. I don't understand. Again, the daffodil one looks big. So I just feel like there's a big inconsistency with this seam on the back, which I'm already not a huge fan of. So I feel like, yeah. The seam thing for me is like, it's not like a huge issue, but like it also kind of is, because I feel like if you're paying over £50 for an item, you need to know what you're getting. And I feel like to some people it might not be a big deal that the seam comes above the waistband on some pairs and not on others, but the fact that it comes above on some pairs and not on others kind of shows it's not an intentional design. I feel like it makes it look, this might not be the case, I don't know, but it just makes it look like it's a quality control issue, which I feel like is just, for that big a difference between, like, for example, the pistachio and then like the Atlantic blue colour, like the difference in the seam, it's not really good enough for the price point. Like, you don't want to be playing Russian roulette with what kind of a seam you're going to get on your leggings. And I'm not going to lie, it does look really weird when it comes above the waistband, which is another thing that I really don't like. But yeah. Other things, I'm just looking, these have a 25-inch inseam. It says that this is ALPHALETE's most like shape retaining fabric. I personally think that Amplify retain their shape better than these do. Like, I've trained in the shorts and I've definitely noticed that like they do stretch out as you are wearing them. So in terms of like shape retaining fabric, I don't think these retain shape anywhere near as well as Amplify, or even like the Surface collection. I feel like that doesn't really like stretch out a ton on me either, not on the recent drops anyway. So yeah, in terms of shape retaining fabric, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but yeah, they are a 25-inch inseam, so on me they come up to about here, which is kind of like where I like my leggings to hit. But yes, in terms of the leggings are a no from me. I'm a more shorts prone person anyway. Proofness, they are not 100% sweat proof. I've not trained in the leggings, but I have in the shorts, and the material is the exact same. They're not 100% sweat proof. I had like marks on like my bum crack and on the crotch area, and that's in the colours grape and gingerbread, so they're definitely not sweat proof. Squat proof, the colours that I've got in the leggings are squat proof. The only colour that isn't is pistachio, and that's not even stand-up proof on me in like dark nude underwear. Maybe if you had like a dead match it would be okay, but I'm just letting you know. And camel toe wise, these do give a camel toe, so when I first put them on no camel toe, but I noticed from training in the shorts, as I move around, they do ride on up there and I do get a camel toe. And the gusset does sit quite far back at the back, which can look a little bit strange. If you don't like that about Amplify, then you also will not like that about these. The gusset does come a little bit far back. It's not coming too far forward, but it does sit a bit further back. Shorts are something that I would be more inclined to train in. So let's move on to the shorts. These are the same as the leggings basically, but a short version. So you've got the 3-tier waistband. Again, you've got basically all the same detailing. The only difference with the shorts is obviously they're a short version, so this like ribbon detailing that's on the bottom of the leggings has been brought up to the top on the shorts. So it kind of comes around like that, and then on the back, that's what they look like from the back. So you've got the ribbon at the bottom and then this kind of like half moon thing, plain in the middle for your glutes. Back seam, forever stitching, no front seam. The ways that I've got this in is gingerbread, Atlantic blue, grey, lavender, daffodil and pistachio. I'm not a huge fan of this daffodil colour. I mainly got it to see if it was sheer or not, and lo and behold, it was sheer. In terms of sizing, I've got the the daffodil and the lavender in an extra small, and all the other colours are in a size small. These are a 5.5-inch inseam, so kind of between the Amplify shorts and the biker shorts. I'll show you what they look like pulled down. I've seen a lot of people saying that these don't roll up on them. These do roll up on me. Like, even I roll my shorts up anyway, but I did notice when I tried them on when I first got my package the other day, I rolled them right down and then I like walked around and they were like literally up here. So they do roll, and even when I roll them to the length I like, I've noticed from training in them, they roll up even further. Like, they roll a lot. Very, very, very roll prone. So in terms of squat proofness, I will go through the colours one by one. Bear in mind, for squat tests and all that sort of stuff, I wear like dark nude underwear. It's not like a dead match to my skin tone, but it's not too far off either. It's probably like 2 shades darker. The grape is stand-up proof on me and also squat proof. The ginger is also fine. Atlantic blue also fine. Lavender also fine. It is a little bit sheer in the bottom of a squat on like the bum, but you can't see anything when I'm just stood up. Pistachio, not 100% stand-up proof. It does show a little bit, and that's even in a size small, so that's in a size up. For reference, which I think will help people in terms of like making decisions, because obviously the daffodil is very, very, very sheer on me. Like, you can completely see my underwear. Even if I wear like a pretty dead on match, because I tried this at the weekend, you can still see my underwear. It's one of those colours where it's so sheer, I really wouldn't recommend that you go commando. Like, people are literally going to see your fanny, and I just think, do we want that? I'm not entirely sure. So it's one of the colours where it's quite severe. I wouldn't even recommend that you go commando. I also feel like on darker skin tones, this is a colour that's going to be a lot more obvious that it's not you know, squat proof, and that it's a lot sheerer. So that's something to bear in mind if you do have a darker skin tone. These are not squat proof and they are not stand-up proof. So that's colour by colour. Feel in terms of like tightness and stuff, daffodil is obviously in an extra small, so that's incredibly tight on me. Pistachio is so stretchy. Like, this colour is so stretchy, and it feels softer as well than any of the other colours. Like, pistachio is very, very, very stretchy. If you want like the colourway that's got the most give, it's definitely pistachio. Like, I noticed even in the leggings, I felt like the Atlantic blue in the leg felt tighter than the pistachio ones did, and the pistachio ones are in an extra small, so something to be aware of. But I still wouldn't size down in these. But yeah, they are definitely the stretchiest colour by a mile. Lavender, not as stretchy as pistachio, I'd say. The ones that fit like true to the general feel of the collection is lavender, gingerbread and grape. And then I would say again, Atlantic blue definitely feels the stiffest, the least stretchy, and like the tightest. Like, it definitely fits the tightest out of the bunch. So if you're looking for like differences between the colorways. That would be my personal opinion. Now, sizing wise on these, I have to wear a small even. You have to size up in these shorts. Like the leggings, I feel like, you know, like you have to size up in these shorts. There are no two ways about it. If I wore the extra small, like the extra small are so uncomfortable. Like the lavender and daffodil are so uncomfortable on me. They're so tight. It's like they cut my blood circulation off. Like they're incredibly tight, like way too tight. So you need to size up in these if you have like legs and bum. The waistband does definitely fit better in the extra small than it does in the small, same as it did with the leggings, but like I just could not wear an extra small in these. They're very uncomfortable in an extra small. Again, I'd be concerned about ripping and all that sort of stuff, so definitely would recommend that you size up in the shorts. Sorry about that, my camera battery died. Yeah, as you can see, like this seam here which runs around the shorts is very tight. And like I said about the leggings, I feel like the issue with this collection is the fact that the legs might be stretchy, but like the seams have got no give. And when you've got seams like up the inside of your legs, around your crotch, up, well, not up your bum crack because you can't bloody get it up there, but up the middle at the back, I just feel like it makes it quite restrictive even if the legs are stretchy. And this seam in the shorts is so uncomfortable in an extra small, which is why you need to size up, because in the size small I don't really notice that seam as much, but in an extra small it's so uncomfortable, like so uncomfortable. And I feel like it almost like itches the top of my leg a little bit. It's got like no give to it. Like when I put these on, I had to really pull them up, like I was struggling to get them up my leg. It was like putting denim shorts on. So that is something that you really need to be aware of. Like, I know you might think, oh, I want to get my usual size for like the snatching of the waist. In the shorts, trust me, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. You need to size up. You've got to size up, girl. Sometimes as women, we can get like emotional attachments to our size. Let go of that emotional attachment to an extra small and size up and keep your blood circulation in full health, because that seam is cutting shit off. Let me tell you that for free. So yeah, like I said, the waist on the extra small is definitely more flattering, but I just can't wear them. Like, they're so goddamn uncomfortable. In the size small, I've got a lot more extra material at the front. I've got a lot more room in the waist. It doesn't really give me much compression at all, if any. However, because I do roll my shorts, I feel like I don't notice the extra material in the shorts as much as I do in the leggings, if that makes sense, because I would roll the shorts anyway, so I'm used to having a bit of extra material there. I will say you do definitely get quite a bit of extra length when you go for the size up. Like, the size small just feels a lot longer. Like, I couldn't even really roll these down. Like, they're automatically just quite short in an extra small. But if you get the right size, you go with the size up, you'll get a bit more room, so you could wear them longer with the 5.5 inch inseam, but I would recommend you roll these up. Like I said, I've trained in the gingerbread colour and the grape colour. They're not sweat proof, they do show sweat. Camel toe wise, you do get a bit of camel toe. Squat proofness wise, I've already been over all of that. The weird thing about these shorts is, right, from the front, not super flattering. They're like okay, because you have to go a size up, so the waist isn't like, it's not giving what Amplify gives, you know, it's not giving that. But if you don't want that, maybe a good option. I definitely recommend the shorts over the leggings, not gonna lie. The leggings are just not, I'm not a leggings person anyway, so like leggings need to be good for me to want to wear them. I just think the leggings, no. I'm definitely veering more towards the shorts if I was to say to get a bottom, but I'm still not. Like, let's be honest, I could sit here and be like, yeah, get the shorts are so cute, but like, how often am I going to wear these? Maybe once every 3 weeks. Am I still going to be reaching for my ALPHALETE amplified biker shorts every goddamn day of the week? Yes. Like, yes. I can try and kid myself, but it's just not going to happen. From the back, because of the seam, you can't pull it up the crack. It's giving uni butt. Like, your bum, like, oh my god. I caught like a glimpse of myself from like straight on back in these the other day in the gym, and I was like, That is really unflattering. Like, I don't think it's flattering at all. Dan says that I still look really good in these, and he says my bum still looks really good in these. I think he's trying to sabotage me into not wearing Amplify so that I get less attention in the gym. That's my hypothesis of the situation. But I do feel like he does tell me if something doesn't look so great. And he says that my bum looks good in these, so maybe it does. But I feel like dead on from the back, it's giving uni butt. You can't really separate the cheeks, so forget about that if that's what you're into. However, from side on shot, and I feel like you're going to be able to tell this from the triangle clips, from side on and like a slight diagonal turn at the back, these are quite flattering, I'm not gonna lie. From side on, these make your glutes look really good because of like this like paneling down the side. From like side on, these make your glutes look good, and because it's got like that bit of a tighter seam at the bottom, it's almost like it pushes your bum up. Like, you don't have to worry about these rolling and exposing your bum cheeks because it's just not gonna happen because of that seam, but like they will still roll, if that makes sense. But I feel like that does help to make them a bit more flattering. So like from the side and like a slight diagonal turn, these are flattering on the glutes, but like straight on from the back, it's giving uni butt. It's just not giving what it needs to give. I also do want to say about the seam, I know some people say, oh well, they put it there to stop rolling, but it doesn't stop it rolling. So that's, you know, that doesn't really make much sense. It doesn't stop it rolling. Like, these shorts still roll regardless of this seam, so all it adds is another level of discomfort to an already, in my opinion, quite restrictive feeling bottom. Like I said, it's the seams. Like, the seams is what makes these uncomfortable, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's like got stretch in the leg and all that sort of stuff, but like the seams are so stiff, like they just feel stiff. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if I did the splits in these, the crotch would rip. Does that make sense? One other thing that I need to know on these products in general, it only happened on the bottoms for me, not the tops, but it's something that I am going to comment on because, again, these leggings and shorts are going to be like between 40 and 60 pounds. You know, probably more expensive for the leggings and then a bit less for the shorts. There is dye runs on every single pair that I have. So I have like a weird dark dye line on the front of my pistachio shorts. I've got dye lines on like the bum of some of my shorts. I've got dye lines down like the front of like the grey, the mauve. Now, I've not washed these yet to see if it comes out, but like there's dye lines all over my stuff, and if it doesn't come out, I will update a pinned comment because I'm going to wash some of this stuff and see if it comes out. So I will let you know in the pinned comment, but if that doesn't come out, definitely something to be aware of, because again, to me, in my opinion, I know those things can happen, but if it doesn't come out, that's quite a big issue. Like, it's very noticeable, it's not subtle. There's like lines of dye all over. The seam issue as well, like you shouldn't be feeling like you're playing Russian roulette when you're trying to buy something. And I feel like with these bottoms, especially with the seams on the bum, you are playing Russian roulette. Yeah, if you were gonna get a bottom, I'm definitely veering more towards the shorts in this collection and a size up. But if you want my honest opinion, would I spend my money on these? I don't think I would. I think I might try them, but I'd probably end up sending them back, or they'd live in my drawer for 6 months and I'd never wear them, and then I'd sell them on Depop. I don't think I would spend my own personal money on these. It's not really to my taste. It's not my preference, first of all, but also because I don't want me to just rag on this stuff because it's not Amplify, because like I've said, Amplify is not everyone's cup of tea. I'll back ALPHALETE in that sense. Like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. They can't just do Amplify. It's not what everyone wants to wear. They have to be doing like new and different things and trying new collections. However, for me, there are some quality control issues with this drop. I have concerns about how durable these will be, which for a sustainable line, in my opinion, is a huge problem if they're marketing it as sustainable. I've got concerns about the durability of these leggings, and there's some glaring quality control issues in terms of like the seams, the dye lines being everywhere. So based off that, not just preference, would I recommend the bottoms? No. If you're going to get something from the Ozone collection, get yourself a tank or a sports bra. The crop bras, I definitely recommend the crop bras absolutely most, but like those racerback tanks are going to be seriously underrated. I'm very quickly going to go over the performance range. I only got one top, but they are dropping a couple. Oh no, I got two tops. They are dropping a couple of different tops in the performance line. They've got two long sleeves, which I didn't get any of, purely because every single time I get the long sleeves, I never reach for them. Like, I like them, but I never reach for them, and they just sit under my bed and I feel really, really wasteful, or I give them away. So I didn't really see the point in that, and I feel like the finish on them all and the length of them all looks very, very similar. So I feel like I thought I'm good to just get like the short sleeve crop, which I will get more use out of, like the ALPHALETE like signature logo ones. Oh my god, I used to wear those all the time. An ivory kind of colour, like if I put it next to a white bra pad. Oh, I've got something on the shoulder. You can see it's kind of like an off-white, it's kind of like a creamy colour. I really, really like this. As you can see, it's got the Dynasty logo, which I actually really, really like. ALPHALETE have got a couple different logos now, but I do actually really like this one. I feel like it looks quite minimal. I've seen that they're gonna bring back, like, I think I've seen Christian posting about like the wolf logo, which I know is like their like OG logo, but I just feel like I'm not sure I'd want to wear something that's got a big wolf on it. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. I definitely prefer this logo, but my absolute favourite logo is just like the classic ALPHALETE logo. I feel like that's just the best. Like, it's minimal, it's very minimal, and it looks good, and it's just classic. I prefer that to like the signature one or the Dynasty one, but I do like the Dynasty one. So this is coming in loads and loads and loads of colours, but like I said, they've said that they have rejigged the performance collection. So let me just have a look on the ALPHALETE website, because it doesn't actually say what they've changed on the brief, it just says that they've changed it. So let me find a performance top and see what the change in the blend is. If they've changed the blend. Ooh, Belly's there on the website, looking gorge. Right, I'm confused. Maybe they've just updated the fit, not the actual thing, because I'm on the website and it says 94% cotton, 6% spandex, and these also say 94% cotton, 6% spandex. And they don't feel any different, to be honest. So I was actually a bit confused when I saw that it said that they changed it. Maybe they meant they've changed the fit, because the fit of this is definitely different to previous like oversized drops. I feel like that they've always been boxy crops, but I feel like now it's very, very, very boxy, if that makes sense. Extra small in this, you don't need to size up for an oversized fit, comes oversized. I really, really like this. I definitely feel like this fits probably more boxy than previous crops. All my old crops are at home in Bradford, so I don't actually have any with me, but I feel like this does feel a little bit less cropped and a bit more boxy. It feels a little bit, I don't know, I feel like it feels a little bit longer. As you'll see in the try and clip, you wouldn't have to wear a bra with this if you wanted to wear it to run errands and lounge around in. You can reach for things on the supermarket shelves without exposing a tit to someone on aisle 29 in Morrison's looking at the global food selection. So you would be good with that, but like if you're going to wear it to the gym, I would recommend that you wear a bra underneath it. If you want it to lounge in, it's long enough for you to not need to wear a bra with without popping a tit. But yeah, it's like the classic, like it feels cold, it's quite like weighty, it's not like a shitty jersey material. ALPHALETE's performance range tops, I will give it to them, like they've got weight to them. They're very comfy, they're very soft, they're thick but not too thick. They're just a good, the performance range is just good tops. Like if you need like a classic top, the performance range will very rarely let you down unless it says PBNS on it, because when they did that, not quite sure, it looks like penis. But yeah, I do like these tops, I would recommend them. Then we have the Learn More, the unisex oversized Learn More, Dream More, Be More. When I first got this, I was like, it says Learn More, Dream More, Be More, and Dom was like, no, it says Learn, Dream, Be More. I didn't read it properly, but you know what I mean. Learn more, dream more, be more. I love these tops. So I got sent, I've got one of them on now, I got sent the like Alphaland exclusive pump covers t-shirts.
it's a t-shirt. I know like pump cover has become like the word, but it is a t-shirt. If you were wondering what's the difference, there's no difference. It's just an oversized t-shirt. And I've been living in these, like absolutely living in them. This is definitely my favorite one. I just love the color of it. I like the washed effect. I like that, like the branding on the back is tonal on this. It looks super cute. But these were Alphaland exclusive, so I felt bad because I was like my UK queens can't get in on this. We're miles and miles away from Texas, and let's be honest, probably not going to go anytime soon. So I was like, I feel bad. So I'm glad that they are doing one of these online. I love this. I got it in a size medium. Sizing wise for these, I would actually still, I know it says oversized, but I do kind of feel like you do need to size up to get a proper oversized fit. I would say go 2 sizes up from your normal size for an oversized fit. I'm typically an extra small, and I got a medium, and I like how it fits. As you'll see in the try-on clip, it's like a good length. I've also shown you how I tie mine to make it cropped, because I have been asked about that before. But yeah, I love the necklines on these are a bit different. Like, it's quite like a high neckline, but I do actually quite like it on this. I'm not mad at it. This is like printed on, but I've not had any issues with like any of the printing on the ones I've got already, and I've had them a couple weeks now, and trust me, they've been washed. And then on the back you've just got the little ALPHALETE kind of Alphaland World logo. In terms of material, this is under the Performance collection, but it doesn't feel like the Performance collection material. Like, this has definitely got a bit more texture to it. Like, it feels a bit more, it's not rough, but like it's definitely not as soft as the Performance range, which I actually prefer, because when I'm in the gym, do I want to be wearing something super soft? Not really, in terms of like a big oversized t-shirt. Like, I normally get mine from Skims, the boyfriend t-shirts, or Urban Outfitters. And other than Skims, which are quite soft to be fair, the Urban Outfitters ones are always like quite rough in texture. Like, it sounds bad, but the only way I can describe it is, you know, when you get a towel and then you wash it a few times and it goes a little bit like less soft. That's kind of the vibe I get from these. They're still soft, but like they do have like a rough kind of texture. It definitely doesn't feel the same as the Performance, but yeah, they're like heavyweight enough to feel high quality, but lightweight enough to train in without overheating. I love these. Like, if you're only gonna get one thing from the Performance range, this t-shirt 100%. Like, I love these t-shirts. I would say if you're only going to get 2 things from this entire drop, I would get this t-shirt, because it is limited edition. Like, when it's sold out, it's sold out, and I feel like these tops will go because people have seen them on other people and they've been Alphaland exclusives, and I feel like the appetite for them has built up. So these will probably go quick. If you want one, get one, because they will be limited edition in terms of this specific design. But yeah, if you're only going to get like 2 things, I'd probably get this and one of the crops. And in terms of like how these fit under here, they fit perfectly because of the higher neckline. As you'll see in the try-on clip, I did have a set on underneath it, and you can't really see. Love these tops. Like, highly recommend. And I hope ALPHALETE do a lot more of these, because this is one of my favorite products now that ALPHALETE do. These t-shirts, I just love them. I love them for chilling in, I love them for training in. I think they're perfect. Yeah, love. I was not kidding when I said I was coming through with the comparisons. As I've recommended Urban Outfitter and Skims as like oversized t-shirts before, I thought I would compare them to like fit wise of the ALPHALETE ones. So these are all a size medium. As you can see, because the Skims one is like so soft and stretchy, definitely runs like a little bit bigger, but the sleeves are a bit shorter, whereas these ones are definitely the longest sleeves. Definitely got the highest neckline like the Skims ones, and the Urban ones are more like a scoop neck. This is like a high neckline, but lengthwise they're all pretty much the same kind of length. And the Urban Outfitters size mediums have definitely got more of a boxy fit, but they do all fit quite similar in terms of like length and how they feel on. But I hope that helps, because I know a lot of you get your t-shirts from Urban Outfitters and Skims particularly, because I've recommended them. I hope this helps. Right,
ALPHALETE have definitely done slides before, but I didn't get a pair last time. I can't remember why. So these are coming in light blue, light green and black, and I got mine in a women's 6, which I don't know, I'm very confused because some charts were saying that's a UK size 3, but most were saying it's a UK size 4. They fit, so I feel like it must be a 4. Like it must be a 4. I've not done a try on clip for these, but like this is what they look like on my foot. They do fit. Like they're yeah, they do fit on my feet. I got black. I can't remember why I got black. I think I got black because when I went to do my selections, I couldn't get a women's size 6 in the lighter colours. I feel like it just wasn't available. Maybe they didn't have the stock in yet. So I got mine in a black. It's got like ALPHALETE on both of the slides. It's got like little spaces for your tootsies. It's very, very, very cushioned underneath here. Like they're super cushioned, and then they've actually got quite like a thin bottom in my opinion, especially this bit. I feel like they're quite thin. This is very cushioned as well. So normally with slides are like hard plastic. These are not hard plastic. Like look, like you can squish them like and do all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so yes, these are probably the comfiest slides I've ever tried in terms of every single pair of slides I've ever had in my life have cut my toes so bad because they just rub in. Especially if you wear them for like half an hour, you're fine, but if you're walking around in them, which like socks and slides are a thing, they just are. I walk around town, I walk around Leeds City Centre in my slides and socks with absolutely no shame. I also go to the gym in my slides and I've got no shame. They do like cut up your feet. These will not do that. Like these are very cushioned. They're, you know, they're not gonna, because there's no like hard plastic like there. This isn't, I feel like this is an unpopular opinion because everyone I've seen talk about these slides has pretty much like raved about them and said like how cute they are and how comfy they are. Maybe I've just got a bad pair of these, but the quality of these does not feel good. It doesn't feel good. There's a few issues that I've got with them. Yes, they're super comfy, but like because they're so like foamy and spongy, they feel more like house slippers to me. Does that make sense? Like they feel more like something to wear around the house rather than to go out in, which I feel like these are going to be like 50-60 pounds probably, if not more. I wouldn't pay that for these personally, for a few reasons. But yeah, they don't feel like secure on my feet. Like they feel a bit weird to walk around in because of how soft they are, which sounds stupid because I've just complained about my feet getting rubbed, but like they just, my feet don't feel secure. I feel like if I walk downstairs in these, I'd break a bone. I never thought I'd say that something could be too soft, but I feel like they're too soft. The second thing that I don't really like about these is they're quite like, because of how like cushioned they are, I feel like they're quite like bulky looking in terms of like this strap, and I feel like they just look a bit more manly. I feel like I've seen people like Christian wear these and like they look good on him, and I'm sure like if Dan had these it'd look good on him, but on me they just feel a bit like bulky and a bit like manly. They don't feel like a feminine slide, and these are like unisex, so like anyone can wear whatever. But yeah, they just feel a bit bulky, a little bit manly. There's no polite way of like putting it. These feel and look quite cheap to me, like the pair that I've received anyway. There's like stitching hanging out of the side. It's like they've like melted along the side here. Let's see if it'll focus properly. It's like they've like melted along the side here. There's stitching hanging out, and then where the strap comes over, the glue is like exposed. Like you can see the glue. Like you can see how it's flat down there and then it comes up like there's glue there, and it doesn't look like it's down properly. I just feel like I've got them and they already look like falling to bits is probably a bit dramatic, but I just don't think the finish on these is good. The quality control is just quite poor. I just feel like they don't look good, and they don't feel high quality to me. And like I said, I feel like these are going to be like 50-60 pounds, and like for 50-60 pounds you can definitely get, in my opinion, a better quality, better finished pair of slides. It might sound stupid because I know that slides for some people are just like lounging around the house, but like in the UK, and I'm sure in America and other places, like people do actually wear these out with socks or without socks to go and run errands, to wear on holiday, all that sort of stuff. And I just feel like if I took these on holiday, I'm not sure they'd last. Like, let me show you. I'm going to show you mine and Dan's slides. Now bear in mind, Dan's are Palm Angels and mine are Off-White, so I appreciate it's not the same price point. You know, I've definitely overpaid for my slides. It was a ridiculous price to pay, but I was in the mood to treat myself, so I did. But I have had slides from other brands which are around like 30-40 pounds, which felt the exact same as these. I just don't have them anymore because I lost them. So ignore the price point of these particular slides. I'm just going to show you what I mean. So like Dan's Palm Angel ones, like these are like 2.5 years old. He got them before he went to Dubai. Like, yeah, they're probably a bit battered now, but like, you know, there's nothing coming undone at the side. They're still in good nick. These have been to Thailand and Malta with me. I walked around, I went like basically hiking up a fucking cliff to get to the Blue Lagoon in Malta in these, and they're still, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely filthy, but they're not coming away, they're not coming undone, they're still in very, very, very good nick, other than the fact that they're absolutely fucking filthy. They're still in very good nick. And yes, these were like ridiculously priced for a pair of slides, but like I said, I've had slides before for a fraction of the price, probably cheaper than the ALPHALETE ones will be. The finish was better, the feel was better, the quality felt better. I just don't think these are probably going to be worth the price point. It could just be that I've got a dodgy pair, but there could also be consumers, you guys, that might go ahead and buy these, and I just feel like you could also get a dodgy pair. Is it worth the Russian roulette? I don't know. For me personally, I don't think the slides are worth it. It's probably the thing I would like really advise you against getting. Like, I would actively say I really don't think that they're worth it. I hate to end the haul on a bad note, but that's it. So yeah, that's it. As you can probably tell, this is not my favourite launch that ALPHALETE have done in recent times. The Ozone bottoms are definitely not my favourite bottoms. The only things that I would like actually recommend getting, like seal of approval, approved by Amy stamp on these items, it would be the unisex oversized t-shirt. It would be one of the Ozone tops. My absolute favourite colour being grape, especially if you've got brown hair. It's a stunning colour, and when I put like selfies on Instagram in it, I've had a lot of compliments. And then I'd also recommend, if it's your thing, if you think you will get your use out of it, because remember, the most sustainable thing we can do is buy things that we're actually going to use and get our use out of, and are going to last a long time. And this feels like it will last a long time. Like, the tops feel really, really good. If it's your thing, I definitely recommend the Ozone Racer Tank as well. But they're the only three things that I would say are fully approved by me. Just my opinion. You can use this video how you wish. You know, there might be points that I've said that I don't like about certain things that you might think, actually, that's a plus for me. I really like that. For example, the fact that the Ozone band, if you go a size up, which most people should be doing, won't be super compressive. Some people will love that because they'll be like, oh my god, amazing. The fact that there's no scrunch, I hate that. Some people might be like, oh my god, like, I don't like scrunchies, I don't want to draw attention to that. So use this review how you will. I just had a lot of thoughts on this drop in particular. If you've got any questions that I've not answered in this video, please leave them down below. The launch PDF will be linked below. The charity information will be linked down below to this month's charity, the Cinderella Club. Timestamps will be below. Yeah, any questions on anything whatsoever, comment them below, message me on Instagram. Support code Amy, I forgot to say that. My support code is Amy if you do want to use it. If you found this video helpful, then yeah, do let me know if you use it so I can say thank you. You do also get 10% off with that. It's not just a support code anymore, it's now a discount code, so you can also get 10% off your order with the code Amy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. My voice is going, so I feel like I should probably go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.